I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. I'll introduce the panel members. I'm Marcel Larondo. I'm the chair. Linda McFadden and Lynn Nesbitt are our panel members today. Jason Robertson is our secretary, and Kim Wong is our assessor. We will be hearing applications for revision of assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we'll limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony. Anyone speaking to the matter must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessment of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decision with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to an application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence of an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applicants have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the Board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We'll be hearing items 1, 3, 4, 5, and 7 on our docket today. Mr. Robertson, please affirm the assessor and the applicant's testimony.
Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
I'm Wong.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Rod Slaughter.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Cam, if you could go with 242 Hartford, number 1 on our agenda today.
Okay. The subject property is 242 Hargrave. The file number is 22-4459.
No, 4336, isn't it?
Sorry, what file? What item is it?
One should be 242 Hargrave, Unit 400A.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
All right.
Just showing that we're following you.
Yeah, the property is 242 Hargrave, Unit 400A. The file number is 22-4336. The roll year is 2023. The business ID is 54799. The business name is Bentall Green Oak Canada Limited, and the owners are Bentall Green Oak Canada LP. Sorry, was this one withdrawn?
Nope. Second
No,
one.
Sorry, Cam, we're just going to ask for confirmation when you're
Yeah.
finished.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But you still have to read it on.
I have to go through what?
At least read the information on and the amounts, please.
Sure. The annual rental value is 88,500. The area is 2,409 square feet, and the overall net rate is the overall rate is $36.74, with the net rate being $34.23.
Thank you. Rod, you said you wanted to confirm this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anything else you wanted to add? No?
No, the realty assessment will be heard in the future, and we'll have this following along behind.
Cam, you're okay with that?
Yes.
Linda or Lynn, do you have anything that you wanted to ask, or you're good?
No questions, thank you.
Okay.
No question.
Thank you. Item number 3 will be the next one. Probably going to take us longer to find the files than you guys pull them. Item number 3, Kim, when you are ready. And it's Gary, 401 83 Gary Street.
Wow, I'm sorry, I just do not have things in order here. The property is 83 Gary, Unit 401. The file number is 22-4228. The roll year is 2023. The business ID is 20283. The business name is Assiniboine Athletic Club. The owner is Roma Fitness Center, Inc. We have an annual rental value of 75,300. The total area is 9,162 square feet. The overall rental rate is $8.22, and the net rate is $5.72.
Rod, are you?
We just like, yeah, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Just request confirmation again, please.
Requesting confirmation. Cam, you're okay with that?
Yes.
Panel members, no questions or anything?
No questions.
Okay, that concludes that matter. This is going to be quick. Next item on the agenda is number 4. I'm getting there, Cam. For some reason, what's going on here? Here it is. 85, Gary?
Yep.
Go ahead, Cam.
Okay. The subject property is 85 Gary Street. The file number is 22-4229. The roll year is 2023. The business ID is 20294. Business name is Edison Properties, and the owner is Appleton Holdings Ltd, M Virgin Ltd. The annual rental value is 441,360, and there are 235 stalls for the parkade. Our annual rate, or monthly rate is $156 with the annual net rent of 441,330.
Rod, we're going through this one, Rod?
Yes, please. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Carry on then, Kim.
Yeah, the parking income for the property is $521,299, and applying an expense rate of 40%, their expenses are about $208,520, and the net value would be $312,779. So I'd like to recommend a revised rental value of $312,779.
Okay. And what do you think you get?
The 40% expenses is what I've experienced from these parking properties, and after talking with my colleague, and it is also the expense rate that was used for the realty portion of this property's appeal. In the realty, the applicant saw 40% expenses, and so I feel it's reasonable to apply 40% expenses to their income of $521,000. and that's how the revised value was calculated.
Are you accepting the recommendation?
Yes, I will. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Wong.
Well, the rec was 312,779 using the 40%. Good. Any questions from the panel members?
No questions. No questions.
Thank you. That will conclude. Item number 5. Item number 5 is 299 Fort Street. Cam, when you are ready.
Okay, the subject property is 299 Fort Street. The file number is 22-4510. The roll year is 2023. The business ID is 41375. The owners are AX Property Management LP. The rental value is 1,283,280. There are 702 stalls. Applying a rate of $156 per stall. Their annual rental value is $1,314,120.
Just hold on. We're going to see if Cam's got anything else he wants to add.
That's it. That's everything.
That's it. Do you have any questions, Rod?
Yeah, sorry, Kim. Was the annual rental value not 1,283,280? Do I have that wrong?
That's what it says on Tony. Yeah, you did. You jacked it for some reason, Cam. The total rental value was 1,283,280. That's what they appealed. We did this yesterday too. You see it, Cam?
I'm taking a look for it. Sorry.
Your total annual rental value on the ARV was 1,283,280 on the appeal, and you got $1,34120.
Yeah, the annual rental value of 1,283,280 is correct.
Okay, thanks, Kim. Can you just confirm the stall count then for that? I may have missed it, and maybe it's different with this different ARV, but what was the stall count?
702.
702, okay. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to confirm this assessment. I think we work proactively with Mr. Dupuis at the assessment department on this realty and business assessment, and there's a lot of moving parts, but I think this is right. But for now, I'll just ask for confirmation, and if in fact it is correct, we'll just let the appeal die.
Okay, you okay with that, Kim?
Yes.
So the new number is not, it's not 1,314,000. It's 1,283,280. That's not a recommendation, but why? How did you come up with the 1,314,000, Kim? Just so I know how to write this down at the end.
Unfortunately, I would have to kind of look into. I didn't notice this earlier, and I would have to look into why that calculation is different. But I guess the 1,283,000 is the one that we have on the roll, so that's the one that we'll be going with.
Okay, so we're going with the roll. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll help me out. Thank you. Any questions from you, Linda?
No questions.
Lynn, any questions?
No questions.
And I've got no questions, so that'll conclude this matter. We will now move on to item number 7, I do believe. Where is it? How did I lose it? There it is. Kim, This is on 193 St. Anne's Road. When you're ready.
The subject property is 93 St. Anne's Road, Unit 100. The file number is 22-4338. The roll year is 2023. The business ID is 56688. The business name is Manitou Media, and the owners are Manitou Media Inc. The annual rental value is $60,540. The total area is 2,150 square feet. The overall rental rate is $28.16, and the base rate is $25.66. In looking at the applicant's comparables, I feel that the applicant's comparables are reasonable, but considering that the subject property is brand new, I think something at the higher end of that range, in this case about $21, is reasonable. So using $21 as a base rate and adding the $250 for the occupancy cost, the total rate would be $23.50, and I'd like to recommend a revised value of $50,525.
How are you with that one, Rod?
We'd like to continue. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we're going to continue. You can go through the rest of your stuff, Ken.
Yeah, the comparables that I have, they are on the higher end, but I feel that the comparables that the applicant has presented are a little bit more representative. So I'd like to recommend a revised value of $50,525, and that would be my presentation.
Okay, thank you. Rod, do you have any questions?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Wong, your three comparisons, just to confirm what those are. 50 Sage Creek Boulevard, 2,700 square feet. This is a standalone Tim Hortons, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and that's located in a relatively high traffic area. It's like a community shopping center, Sage Creek. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. The second is 614 La Jamodier, and that would be a 2,500 square foot standalone Tim Hortons restaurant as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so both of these comparisons, you'd agree, would have ample parking, high traffic visibility in more commercial locations. Yeah, thanks. And the third is within a community shopping center on Vermilion, and this is a medical office occupied by the WRHA. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, and again, this would have high traffic, high visibility, and ample parking.
Yes, and yeah, and I guess that's why I feel that the rate that we've applied, the model has applied, is a little bit on the high side, and so I guess that's the reason for me providing a recommendation for revised value.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you, and that's all the questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Linda, do you have any questions?
I don't have any further questions, no.
Lynn, do you have any questions?
Yeah, just a question. What is this property at 93 St. Anne's Road?
It's an apartment building with office on the main floor.
And how are the rent comparables selected if they're a Tim Hortons?
Yeah, I guess the comparables that I selected, I guess they weren't the best, and there aren't that many. I guess I wasn't looking for I wasn't able to find a better comparable, so those are the ones that I selected. But looking at the applicants' comparables, the applicants' comparables seem reasonable, and so I feel it was reasonable to utilize some of the comparables that the applicant has presented.
No, I very much appreciate you saying that, for sure. When you do, so this is just for my information as we go through these types of appeals now. So in selecting business rent comparables, Do you tend to look for similar types of property? Do you look for similar ages? Do you look for similar square feet? Like, what is the driving characteristic?
Pretty much the three things that you mentioned. It's just that I guess I don't have as much experience in this area, and I guess as I get a little bit more, like, I guess we don't have too many of these business assessment type appeals with the apartment group, and so.
Okay.
But when I looked at some more comparable rates afterwards, in this particular case, the 21, the 20 to 23 or $4 range would be a little bit more appropriate. And there were some other comparables that were closer to the subject property that did come in at maybe about $22. And so that's why I felt it was reasonable to utilize a $21 rate. But all the things that you mentioned are what would normally be considered in terms of looking for something comparable.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wong. I appreciate your explanation. No more questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Lynn. Kim, seeing as we're looking at the comparisons that the applicant gave, the St. Anne's Road ones, I mean, if we're looking even at their median, it's at 1925. Why are you coming at 21 when a lot of these have a lot more parking than this one does? Why are you jacking it to 21 to the high side? Is it only because of the year it was built?
Yeah, primarily it would be the year. I mean, there are several rates in the applicant's comparables that are $22. And when I looked at some comparables afterwards, after my submission, the rates on St. Anne's would be about, say, $22. And so that's that combined with the property being brand new, and I think some of the brand new buildings are commanding higher rates. I felt it was reasonable to be at $21.
But the ones that are getting higher rates have more parking, do they not?
I believe I don't believe this property has any parking aside from street parking, but also considering I believe
That's our door. Sorry. Doorbell and the dog.
Yeah. I believe when we were assessing this property, the net rate that the occupant indicated was, I guess, higher than what was applied. So that's why I feel it's, in this case, $21 is reasonable.
Is it owner occupied?
I saw that the applicant had mentioned that, but I'm not sure if like when we occupied the owner, I don't believe we got the impression that it was owner occupied, but maybe the applicant can shed some further light on it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll go to Rod, if you want to put your stuff forward on it, please.
Sure. I have some rebuttal evidence, Mr. Chairman, that I won't bother submitting at this point because Mr. Wong has answered the questions that would have come to light through the rebuttal. So if you can just turn to the direct evidence, please. The document from Altus Group. Yeah. So I'll just talk a little bit about the property first. There's a picture on page 2. Cam had described it. It was a residential property, 3 stories, and the main floor, because of zoning, has to be commercial. And the owner purchased this in 2020, I believe, and then he just occupied the main floor for his media company, Manitou. Is it called Manitou Media? Yeah, Manitou Media. That main floor space is like the entire main floor is just about 2,700 square feet, and it's eroded from the leasable area for 2 sets of staircases. And there's a storage area. Part of this space here that we have under this assessment is actually storage area that originally was supposed to be storage for the residential tenants. It has a grade loading door at the back. So actually the space that he's occupying truly for his business is even smaller than the 2150. And so, the conversation thus far has basically gone through exactly our points, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Wong, I think, is correct that the comparisons in the city's evidence really are probably not the strongest as far as this type of unit. But you hit it on the head with the second point, because beyond the considerations that we heard earlier to look at when you're trying to determine a market rent for this type of space, there are three more that are very important. One is location. Is it in a high traffic, high visibility commercial location? Or like the subject, is it in basically a residential area? That's really going to make a difference in the potential market rent. Number two is quality of space. If we have a higher degree of finish, or often many medical offices, for example, will have a higher degree of finishing and plumbing and electrical, and that will also translate typically into a slightly higher market rent. And the third is a big one that seems to get missed, but Mr. Chairman, you hit it on the head, and that's parking. And I appreciate Mr. Wong's comment that, we should probably veer to the comparisons shown in Altus's brief on page 5. But you may have noticed I do have descriptions of each of these and photographs, and the vast majority are what I consider to be more high traffic, high visibility, ample parking locations. So the subject property, or the subject premise, I'm sorry, these type of units we've seldom, regardless of age, we seldom see higher than the teens in a square foot net rate. The median and average are 1925 and 1939. But again, I suggest that our comparisons, as far as all of those factors, are superior to the subject premise. Age, of course, Mr. Wong is right. Age is another consideration, but when you narrow your comparisons into a fairly tight category, I've tried to pick everything that's beyond 2000. It's more the finishing that's going to make the big difference after that point. But certainly age is a consideration. Anyway, even with that consideration and all the others that frankly are against the market rent potential of the site, I don't think this premise would command more than $19 a square foot. And any rent that had been shown must have been an internal rent. I have not seen anything from the owner to do with that, but of course it would be internal. So that's basically the argument, Mr. Chairman. On page 7, we apply $19 a square foot to the entire 2150 square feet that's assessed. We add the cost to occupy that we have no disagreement with, and our annual rental value, therefore, is $46,200. And that completes our presentation. Thank you.
Cam, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Linda?
No, I have no further questions.
Lynn, do you have any questions?
No, I have no questions. Thank you.
And I've got no questions. And I do believe that brings us to, we've heard all the items scheduled on this hearing, and it is now adjourned.
Okay. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank
Everybody-
you.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.